Hi, this is Amber Matusek, and this is me here with a new horse that I have. His name is Wolf. He is a 17-hand warm blood gelding that I believe, I know right before I got him wasn't doing all that much. He was, maybe getting turned out a little, but not in like super consistent work. So he didn't have, any muscle or top line. And, he had a habit of like banging on his stall door a lot and, was really fussy the first day in the cross ties, lots of extra energy. Now this is about the third training session that I had with him. And he had already gotten quite a bit better than when I first started him. The first day he was very fractious and excited and hard to get going. But today what you can see here is, the circle is not super consistent. He doesn't go out and just stay out nicely at the end of the line. He pulls as he comes around towards the gate, and then right over here by the water towers he falls in, and he's not he's too slow. The energy is not like coming through his body the way it needs to. All right, there he had a little moment of good, where the energy, like he stretched and you could see that the flow of the horse, like he just started, the energy just flows through him so much better. So he does have like some good moments here, right there. And he is willing to stretch all the way down, which was extremely nice, for a horse that, hadn't, I don't think been worked in the Art2Ride way. Now this video is got a little bit of one of these first training sessions I did with him, and then there's a really current training session. It's actually not full sessions, just a little bit, so you can see where he started and where he's come in about, I want to say 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. About 1 week of that was he was sick, so I wasn't able to do much with him during that week. But now you can see here, he for the third session is doing quite well. Stretching down at moments, and here at the walk you can see he's got a nice big open walk where he really can reach up under himself. Still has a little bit of a stuck look to it. Could have a bit more activity there in the walk, and not be, turning his head in. He looks a little lazy, like he's not just quite rolling along, which eventually, hopefully we'll get to that point. Now this second direction is his really difficult stiff direction, and you'll see he looks kind of lame in this direction, like he drags the one hind leg a little bit. Now I did notice that with work, that this did not get worse. It, as he warms up and it gets a little bit better. So I'm guessing that it's not an injury; it's more of a weakness or some arthritis. So now, he picks up the canter there, and I did just kind of send him on a bit because he was coming in at me. I was trying to actually push him out there, and then he did do a lead change, and now I am just trying to get him to trot forward. Every time I ask for a little more trot energy, though, he tends to try to just break into the canter. So I just bring him back to the trot and then try to get that deeper stretch in the trot so that he can let that energy flow through his body. Now he does have, a few moments here where he's able to do that, and he does look a little bit better when he does do that. But he still looks, like a little uneven behind. So the goal, eventually as he builds up some strength, hopefully that will get better. Now this is the next training session. Now this is, like I said, 7 weeks later. You can see staying out better at the end of the line and going more consistently around on the circle. So he's not, falling in as much on that side and bulging out as much on the other side. He's able to, go to the end of the line, stay to the end of the line a lot better. And then also the rhythm has improved a lot. So he's able to just have a little bit more of a rhythm, let it come through his body, and stay way more consistently down into the stretch here. After developing, a lot more strength over the last, 6 weeks, he's developed a lot more strength. And now I have had a rider up on him, and he tends to go back to that kind of how he looked in the first video. Like he struggles a lot more with weight on his back. So I still spend the majority of the time just trying to build the strength up a bit more before he will have enough strength, I think, to carry a rider consistently. But I've been very happy with his progress, and right here, eventually I'd like to see him get a little bit more consistent in the stretch. He does come up and down a little bit, and you do see occasionally he trips behind, and I think a lot of that is strength. We do have all new footing out here, so it's pretty nice and like a good depth and everything, which I did think helped him out quite a bit, but he still has some strength to build up. Now the walk, I think, looks a lot better. Like he's able to swing a lot deeper under his body and maintain that in a more consistent stretch. Looks relatively uphill. He looks like he's lifting up through the front, even with his head down like that. And then back to the trot here, hoping to get a little more consistency with that stretch, and with the energy coming through. I find that one of the more difficult things with this horse is just getting him to really step up and go forward as much as I want him to. He tends to, either be slow, or if I send him on too much, then like sometimes he'll have an explosion or be fractious, but not just really flow forward in the trot. But that's getting a lot better as his strength gets better here, and I think it will only continue to improve. Now here in this second direction, I am really working to get that inside hind to reach under the body a bit more and to push away from me. He has a tendency to push the haunches in towards me and not be quite as straight as he needs to be. So the only way to get him to really straighten out is when he stretches all the way down deep. And you can see he does look more even than he did from the clip from 7 weeks ago. He's starting to look like he can swing evenly from behind. There's still I think, a little more improvement to be had there, and hopefully that will come in the next, few weeks over time of him developing and getting stronger. And just really working to get that inside hind under his body where it needs to be. But when he gets all the way down here, then that's when I'm able to you know, achieve a bit more straightness through his body, and the energy is able to really just flow all the way through him. It, like I said, in general, I'm really happy with where he started and where he's come.